Hello everyone, you are watching Services Ground. In this video, we will discuss about the types of typography. There's two main different types of typography. One serif and one is sans serif. Serif have these little tails at the end that help to accentuate the letter or character. Serifs are helpful when there's large amount of text that's smaller. The serifs act as accents on the character and helps the reader distinguish the letters much easier. Sans serif lack these accents because they lack those accents and huge amount of detail. They can make pretty solid clean headlines and help headlines really stand out. A third category to fonts is script fonts, and they are everywhere. Script fonts have their own special use and design, and they can help add a more natural look with their smooth lines and lack of strict angles. You gotta be careful of script fonts because they can easily overwhelm a design piece if you use too many. You will notice in this example, these fonts pair are very well together probably because one is sans serif and the other one is a serif font. Really, the two different serif fonts look good together. The same thing goes with serif fonts. If you have two very similar styles, they tend to compete with each other quite a bit. It's also a good idea to experiment with your font mixing. In this case, a script font works very well with a serif font, but it also works really well with the sans serif font. Font weight comes in two basic sizes. There is usually lightweights and there is also bold weights. And some fonts have everything in between from thin, light, medium, bold to heavy. Railway is an excellent font that has a wide variety of font weight available. Helvetica is another fine example of a font that has a wide variety of weights available. And it gives you lots of options and flexibility when you are creating your design. That's why Helvetica is used so much in design. And Gill stands as another great example. Spacing makes all the difference. There's default spacing which you are seeing right here and which is the default spacing between the characters. If you widen the gaps between the characters, you will notice it starts to take on a different characteristics. In this case, it can take on a more elegant look with those wider gaps. There is also tight spacing which has its own use and design. If you want to be loud and bold, it can really get your attention. You start to tighten that spacing. Some fonts do not work very well with certain spacing. Take for instance, opposite is true for uppercase letters. They are a little bit stronger so the wider spacing between the characters they remain strong and easy to read. I would avoid using wide gap between script fonts. They are meant to stay at the default spacing. Tracking is letting the computer set the spacing between the characters. And spacing is just a general term. Italics can be very useful. And they can make wonderful accents. Italics work very well when you have multiple headlines and you really want to have a highlight or a hyper focus on one particular word in phrase. Lowercase letters have a softer, more gentle feeling to them. And this can go along with the emotions and you want to bring out the viewer. Lowercase letters have a softer, more gentle feeling to them and this can go along with the emotions you want to bring out to the viewer when they look at your design piece. All capital letters can look really good on headlines, but they tend to have a more stronger feeling to them. In some cases, this may not be what you want your viewer to feel, and sometimes it's necessary to grabbing one's attention. And as you will find with everything, a design balance is key, and having a mix of lowercase, uppercase, and different font styles really helps to bring everything together. Find ways to shake up your typography usage by using a wonderful combination of serif and sans serif fonts together using a mix of capital and lowercase. This ensures your design interesting, unique, and diverse.